Back in April, I got word that my Uncle Pete had died of a massive heart attack in London. He had named me the executor of his estate. Within a few days, my wife Jean and I were on a British Airways flight to London. When we got there, we took a cab across town to the coroner's office. Our instructions were to ask for Coroner Richard Hill. That is Dr. Richard Hill. When we went inside the building to the reception, we requested to meet with Dr. Hill. Out came this short little man in a soft-spoken London voice, and he said, "Good day, mate. Sorry about your uncle, mate." I said, "Thank you," and put my head down. He said he'd enjoyed him. He had been dead a few days before they found him. And I'm sorry he had kicked the bucket, mate. He said, "You're here to identify the body, mate." I said, "Yes, sir. I'm here to identify the body. I'm Dennis Burke, and this is my wife, Jean." He said, "Follow me," he said, "mate." We followed him down this windy corridor, down to a chamber. And as he opened the door, it squeaked like in a haunted house. It had a cold, creepy feeling. We went inside. There were 20 at least bodies or more laying out on beds with white sheets over them. As we went inside, he guided us to this corner bed, and as we got there, he turned over his head to me and said, "I'm going to take the sheet off now, Mr. Burke." As he put his hand on the sheet and pulled it back, he said, "Is this your Uncle Pete, mate?" I said, "Uncle Pete? That's not my uncle," I said. "Where is my uncle?" I said. Panic set in. His jaw dropped. His face turned as white as ice. He called in his assistant. He said, "Where is Uncle Pete?" "I checked this morning," he said, "and he was here. Where is he now?" The assistant panicked also. How could it be? This body that was here 4 or 5 hours earlier is not here now. They started calling around to funeral parlors in the London area. Ah, good news. They found a body at a parlor on the east side of London that resembled my Uncle Pete. But there was a bigger issue. This particular body had no apparent next of kin. So the local county authorities had just a few hours earlier buried the body. I thought to myself, this is unbelievable. Can this really be my Uncle Pete that has been buried? The coroner's office continued to have panic, and were uncertain about absolutely what to do next. I said to Dr. Hill, "We're tired. We've waited here a long time." I said, "We need to leave." And I said, "When you find out about my Uncle Pete's body, and the authorities figure out where it is, please call me." He was super apologetic. He says, "I'm embarrassed. I am so sorry for the inconvenience, mate." And I turned to my wife and I said, "Jean, I have Pete's address in my wallet. Why don't we ride out to his estate in Wembley?" She said, "Great idea. Why didn't we think of that before this?" So we went outside. We flagged down the London taxi and rode across town to Wembley. When we got there, we drove up this long, windy driveway, and there were lights on everywhere in the house. As we approached the front door of Pete's house, it all felt very weird. I said to the driver, "Driver, how much do I owe you?" He said, £50, mate. I said, £50? £50, he said. I paid him. Then my cell phone rang. I said, "Hello, this is Dennis." It was the coroner's office. Oh my gosh. With an update on my uncle's body.